Good afternoon, my wonderful shiny gems. How's it going? I was just about to say good morning, so yes, you did catch me. If you think I was going to say good morning, I was. I was about to. Alright, so we got a few things we needed to talk about before we do D&D Talks, and then we'll get into D&D Talks. And that is the best place to convey your thoughts, expressions, feelings, ideas, and whatnot. Sora in the house. We also have in Discord Oz and Wolfie when we get into Discord. Good morning-ish. Yeah, good morning-ish. So, first and foremost, I am out a GPU. A graphics card, basically. It's just so old. That's all I can say. I'm down to basically laptop graphics settings. Which means if I were to stream any of the games that I normally stream, you would not have any good graphics quality at all for it. So if I do stream tomorrow, which I'm hoping to do, just be forewarned with that. I'm actually kind of sad about that. Anyways, I thought I'd let you guys know. So we're just gonna keep making it work and just keep going with it. The other thing is tomorrow's Monday, right? So Monday, tomorrow is Dad's doctor's appointment. It's super early in the morning. It's like at 6 in the morning or something like that. It's not an actual doctor's appointment. It's a go to this person to get a test done thing. So we're gonna do that tomorrow morning, and then we won't have the results for a while, but we're gonna be doing that. Our workouts that we've been doing for our personal progress stuff is all up and in the channel. If you would look, wow, today is horrible with words. If you would like to read about that, I will be posting an update tomorrow about our progress, our 1 week progress with that and how that's going. But just a little tidbit, I have like a ton more flexibility in my body already just by doing this workout. So I'm super stoked. And I also found out I have no upper body strength at all. Just like none. Absolutely none. I have great lower body strength, but no upper body strength. The things we learn when we do these types of workouts. Anyways. Get stole. Yeah, right. Alright, so another announcement. We're gonna do this. Bling! That was really loud in my headset. I hope it wasn't too loud for you. Leo pledged $5 via Patreon. It's the same amount as a tier 1 subscription for Twitch, and it gives him the same benefits as well. So congratulate him. Thanks. You can do !hype in the chat for it. I don't know if he's here, but we got a hype command now. Yeah. And I am thinking of doing a website for our group and whatnot. So that way if we have like a server called Arc come back alive, we can have some information on what the server is there as well. I haven't decided yet. Like I said, my graphics card is dying a slow and miserable death. But it's gonna stay in there until I decide what I'm gonna do. The other thing is I am on Ragnarok's Conan server, and At the moment, it's invite only, but if you're interested and you're a streamer and you're whatnot and you want to play, just let me know via DM. I'd be happy to help. Yeah, I saw that. I don't know if I'm gonna do that yet or not, but I saw that. But anyways, this website will be mostly for the shiny gems, and then maybe a page that has the geology of games information and what we're doing about and whatnot. And then a page for the servers and games and whatnot I'm playing in general. Stuff like that. And then links to Discord, Facebook, Twitter. Speaking of links, here is Discord if you need the Discord. If you're interested in becoming a D&D player, and when we have room, you can go into my public chat and go @admins. You gotta tag those admins for them to do it. But @admins, and then say, hey, I need the potential player role. I want the potential player role, and they'll give you that. The other one is Twitter. Let's get some more shiny gems in here, because I feel like I'm just talking to Solray and everybody else that isn't here yet. And then, of course, we have Facebook, which is just me posting on random stuff along with my streams. More random stuff along with the streams. And then, of course, if you need YouTube, there's the YouTubes. YouTubes will have the Geology of Games series and the Stardew Valley series. And potentially a ARC series that I might be doing soon. Soonish. It's gonna be an RP ARC series, so it's probably gonna be single player. And then it also has all the D&D talks that we're gonna be doing, like I'm doing now here in about a minute or two, along with the D&D session. So if you missed any of the D&D sessions, that's a good place to get caught up, along with the Star Wars series. Yes, that will hopefully be coming back soon, probably this coming week, maybe even tomorrow. I've been wanting to play Star Wars for a while now. But yes, I'll update the games. Where is it? Games. What's it called? It's under Moonstone information. I'll be updating current games that we're streaming, and then YouTube series that we're doing. I'll update that here in a bit, and make sure that's all accurate. All right, we are at 356 of our 500 follower goal. Adrian is still our bit boss at 10 health. I'm not sure how that's possible with Leo, but okay. And I think that covers everything. We might potentially have one opening for D&D coming up here shortly. So if you're interested, definitely get that labeled, tagged. Where is that thing? This needs to be updated. Updated, it needs to be updated. There we go. Okay. Alright, so we're gonna get into Discord and then talk, and then do D&D talks. We have a couple of topics that we need to discuss, and then I'll open it up to the floor. Alright, I should be in Discord now.
Yep.
And I am. Okay. I don't think. Ouch. Ouch, that hurt. Everything's just popping today. Alright, so the first topic, let me get out my notebook here. Hold on. Must get out my notebook. Notebook. There we go. Alright, so the first thing we're going to talk about is equipment and taking care of it. So, for those of you who were there last session, or the session before last, they saw that they got these little books. A couple of them sold them. A couple of them kept them. But they got these little books. They're going to be part of this thing. They can learn how to take care of their weapons and or armor, depending on what the book is. So if it was like leatherworking, they can slowly learn how to take care of their leather armor, so on and so forth and whatnot. These taking care of things and using the kits that will be now available at a shop will be how everyone can gain at least 1% back on their durability loss. Using mending was fine for a while, but it wasn't fair to everybody else to not be able to get that 1% back every now and again. So we're going to have that. I haven't decided if the book is actually going to directly teach you how to do it, or if you can just say, oh, I magically use this book to use 1%, to gain 1% back, and then the book disappears on you. I'm thinking it's just going to be something to teach you, okay, yeah, I know how to use this kit now to help me take care of my clothes and whatnot. And not clothes, but armor and or weapons. But you do need the kit. The kits are going to be purchasable or found. I think that's everything. Any comments about that? Suggestions? Thoughts? No? Nothing? Nada?
Nope.
Zip? Zilch? No. Not at the same time. Or at least it's not a hard no. It depends. You can use the kits once on one item. It's similar to mending. So, yes and no, I guess, is a good way of putting that. You can't use it on the same item. So if you use mending on your weapon, you're not going to be able to use your kit on the mending, on that weapon type idea. Because there's no point. You mended what you could already with the kit. So you wouldn't be able to use the mending spell to increase it, if that makes any sense. Because mending's supposed to be for light repairs, and that's what these kits are for, light repairs. You can, if you have the money, purchase kits that will be, and learn from a blacksmith or a leather worker or something. You can learn how to, it's not a light kit. Think of it as a simple kit versus a kit versus an advanced kit. So you can even gain eventually the ability to learn how to get 3% back onto your durability. Up to 3%. It depends, because the kits you would have to roll as well to see how much you would get back, and that would be a 1d3. I'd have you roll 1d3 on your kits to see what you'd get back. Mending is just an automatic 1%, so whereas the kits would be, if you have the advanced kit, it'd be a 1d3 roll. If you have the simple kit, it's a 1d2, which is basically a flip of a coin. And if it's just let me rephrase that. Simple kits, you just get 1% back, just like mending. Regular kit, just a kit will give you, you'd have to do a coin, you'd have to do a flip, basically, a 1d2, to see if you get 1% back or 2% back. And then if you have an advanced kit, you can roll a 1d3. Well, you'd have to roll 1d3 to find out how much percentage you get back. So it's always a guaranteed at least 1%. But depending on the kit will determine whether or not you get 1% back or 2% or 3%. And that's even a chance that you mend something that happened the night before as well. So if you have like 96% on your weapon or armor and you use that kit and you roll a 1d1, a 1d3 for wear and tear, and you get like a 2, and then you roll for the armor kit you get a 3 for your roll, you get 96, that'd be 99% instead, or something like that. Anyways, that's the idea. Are kits going to be one-time use, or they're more like a tool? They're going to be more like a tool set. Yeah, a tool set is a good way of thinking about them. They'll have a number of uses. They'll have a set number of uses, and then that's it. So yeah, they'll have a set number of uses. The advanced kits, they might just have a durability set. So if you use them once, you minus a durability, which is basically another way of saying number of uses. But because it's durability, their advanced kits might have 100 uses or more. Whereas the simple and normal kit, you purchase one and they might have 5 or 10 uses, and that's it. Basically. Exactly. And what's really nice is before you use the kit, you can see how much durability you've lost before even considering using the kit. So if you lose like 1% on that roll, is it really worth using the kit? I mean, depending on where you guys are at right now anyways for your durabilities, it might be worth it because you might get, if it's a regular kit or an advanced kit, you might get 2 or 3% back, and that would be really nice. But if it's but at the same time, is it worth it? Becomes a question. So something to think about. It's not set in stone. You guys don't have the kits yet. And if anything, right now, the ones with the books can only use a simple kit after reading the book. And so, yeah.
Okay, I have a question.
Question away.
Shields. Right now, they're just considered part of your armor. But if there's going to be separate kits for different types of armor, where are shields going to fit in?
Fair question. I guess it would depend on the type of shield, to be honest.
Because I don't think we have explicit
I think they're just
descriptions
shields,
of shields. Like, I assume that they're just like very generic wooden shields right now.
I don't think there's anything like. I don't think there's like metal shield. Well, there is metal shields, but I don't think there's any metal shields as items. They're just shields.
Right, like different compositions, right? Like different metals or something, or elm shield versus an oak shield versus an ash shield or something like that. I don't think they're that.
No, they're not that specific.
Yeah.
All it says is a shield is made from wood or metal and is carried in one hand. That's it.
Mm-hmm. So the wood part is interesting.
Why?
Because there's no armor out of wood. So you can't like clump them together. Like a metal shield, metal armor. You just clump them together. It's you polish your shield the same way you polish your armor, and you extend its life expectancy that way. But a wood, I don't know. You could argue that the wood is being held together by like rivets and
Leather and
leather
stuff.
straps.
Yeah.
So you can say that's a leather.
I would think it would be based off. So I would say it's based off of your armor itself. So if you have a shield and you have leather armor, you need a leather kit for both.
Okay.
If you have metal armor or robes or something, then you just need the robe kit or the metal kit, metalworking kit.
Okay.
I'm gonna do it that way. You are welcome to, at this very moment in time, if you guys have a shield, you are welcome to, at this very moment in time, decide on a description of your shield, whether it's metal or wood. And just put it in front of the word shield.
Quick, everybody rename their shield to Dragon Plate Shield of Mending.
Yes, quickly. Sure.
I was thinking of a vibranium shield or something. Although in related stories, I got a secret loot item that I can use to make a magic item.
Yes, in other news.
I may be able to use that to make a magic shield, but I don't know what I'd get. Maybe a plus one armor or something.
It's guaranteed to be magic. You just don't know if it's going to be plus 1, 2, or 3. Because I think the shields are plus 1, 2, and 3 max.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just gives you a plus 3 to your AC. Really, that's it.
Well, I mean, you can get creative with it. It could be a reaction with the shield. When it gets hit hard enough, it does a healing spell or something.
You get hit hard enough and it goes boing.
Mm-hmm. You get hit hard enough and it sings for you.
Well, that doesn't make any sense.
You can throw it and then it always returns to you.
Keep working that vibranium.
Yeah, when I said it, I thought more of Thor.
Sure you did.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, when he throws his hammer, it always comes back.
Oh, wait, hold on. Can you guys even hear? Okay, there we go. Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, it doesn't have to be just plus AC, like a stat.
No,
bonus.
I was reading the items, and it was just like, it gives you an AC of 2, and then when I was looking at the magic, it's a plus 1 to AC, and I'm like, but that's kind of stupid. His regular shield's better than the magic shield? What the hell? But it's AC plus 1 is basically
yeah, it goes on top of the...
So it's 3. Yeah. And I was just like, oh my god, talk about being dumb when I read that. But no, a lot of the magic items I try to make adjustments for, like your plus 5 scimitar. That doesn't exist. Mm-hmm. I just made it exist. Your guys is plus 5. And I should throw you guys some more goblins.
Yeah. I think Oz's mace should have a spell effect that's plus 5 to his Eldritch Blast or something. He doesn't really use the mace.
No. I think I used it once.
I think you used it once, a couple of times. No, you used it twice in a fight with goblins. I don't remember which fight, but I do remember you using it. But he uses his Eldritch Blast so much, and that thing hits hard when it hits.
Mm-hmm.
The trick is when it hits.
I don't know why it has such low hit rate.
It's just random dice. I mean, there's nothing really you can do about it. Unless I get like a +5 to hit something, or I don't know.
Yeah. That is interesting. It's based off of your charisma, so...
Charisma can't get any higher.
Nope. Not unless you get a magic item that you can wear that gives you plus something to charisma. And then it's also based off of your proficiency bonus, which is 3. Guys, make sure your inspirations are all off. Yeah. Alright, anyways. So, what was I talking about? Equipment. So yeah, the general idea of the kits are going to have a certain number of uses. And then they don't break or anything. They're just a number of uses and then they're done. You can always go buy more kits and whatnot. Or they could be part of a secret loot item that you may get. But in order to be able to use anything besides a simple kit, you need to get trained. And that could take up to 1 to 2 days in a town that isn't burnt down. And this is just so you can replace the idea of mending and doing something else. But it also means that you guys have to say, oh, we want to stop an hour before we normally stop so that way we can take care of our weaponry and stuff. So yeah, just consider that, think about that. Let's see, or you can, for those of you with feats and whatnot, also, I think I said this, but you can even try it in the morning instead or something like that, and say it's being done in the morning while everybody else is either eating or sleeping, and you've just ate really, really quickly. I think that covers equipment. Any questions, other questions, concerns, or otherwise stated for the equipment?
Not at the moment.
Anyone else? Wow, Oz doesn't have an opinion?
On what? You already know.
Oz always has an opinion.
On that whole thing. I think I made my opinion very, very, very clear.
Alright. Yes. Okay. Why did that work that way? I don't know. Alright, so the last thing we need to talk about, or at least the last thing I have on my list to talk about, is feats. Not your 2 left feet that you have on your 2 legs. But feats as in the ability to gain stuff. Not Hickman.
Val. Or Alex.
Not Val.
Ollie.
Not Alex.
Frank?
Dang it. Soul Ray!
The other guy.
The other guy, yeah. The other guy everybody did not list. Soul Ray suggested that we put feats into a categorical system. And that way, if you get a certain amount of XP towards that feat or that category, you can purchase a feat. I actually like that idea.
Yeah. So, yeah, instead of everybody specifically going after one feat, like, you already made up your mind what you want and you're going for it, which is fine. You could still do that. If you haven't made up your mind, but you're like, I know it's gonna be combat based, but I'm not sure which one. Am I gonna go a defensive one or an offensive one or something in the middle? I'm not sure yet. So I don't want to go towards one, change my mind halfway, then lose all that XP. So I suggested, what if you're just training, like intentionally training to be better at combat, and then once you get enough XP in combat, you're like, okay, now I want to specialize, and then after maybe just a few more specialized sessions, then you get that one feat. But if you don't want that one specialized one, you could go to another one, and you won't lose all that pull that you got before from just doing combat. And the same thing could be for, I don't know what I would call it, like the mental or like magic category, where you're studying books or you're studying spells, or you're trying to expand your spell book in some way, shape, or form, or make them better. Maybe not specifically towards getting like I want this one spell and I'm gonna go for it, but you're learning about spells. Then at the end of that, let's just say it's like 500 XP or whatever, you earned enough to go towards like a mentor intelligence type of talent, like magic initiate or warcaster or something. And then there's I guess you could do like a miscellaneous one, because there's some feats that just don't fit into either of those. Like actor, which I saw, is like, well, I don't consider that a combat or like a spell type of feat. And that's it.
So yeah, that's what he was thinking about. I was going to probably change that up a bit. What I might do is kind of do the combat, magic, and miscellaneous like I was thinking anyways, but this would mean that everything would cost the same. So once you get the combat experience to a certain point, whatever I decide, and this is the catch though, it's whatever I decide the XP is, not you guys. You'll get like a 1 for type idea. For those of you who already have feats, because they've been here the longest, Oz hasn't even chosen his. But Soul Ray is a good example. He has 1 feat already, and he's working towards another. You're only allowed 2 feats as of right now. I might allow you guys to start gaining a 3rd once you guys hit, I don't know, level 10-ish, maybe. But right now you guys are allowed to gain only 2. But if, say, you want to just work on combat, you have 3 ways of gaining combat. Just being in a fight, sparring, strength training, or basically working out. With magic, you can read a book, practice your spells in general, and use your spells in a fight. If I do this is if I do this. With miscellaneous, we would have to talk about that, because I wouldn't know how you'd gain those ones just in general.
Yeah, like there's some like toughness or resilience, and it's basically just like more health, and it's hard to like role play that. Like, how do you gain more health?
Toughness is a good combat one.
Yeah.
You can say that's a combat.
Yeah, I mean, it has combat implications. So you can say through battle, you learn to like withstand pain more or something. You know what I mean? Because you've been hit so much.
Yeah,
I can see that.
Toughness is a combat one. Is definitely, but like you got actor.
Yeah,
it's like okay.
There's a lot of them that wouldn't fit into those categories. And like I said, this could be a pool where you got enough to got some of these, I guess, more easy feats, right? Maybe classify easy, hard,
I'm not going
feats.
to go get into that.
Because I would think some would be way easier to learn than others. Some are very specific, like pole arm mastery is like, yeah, you kind of have to be using a polearm to get that, right? Very, very specific. But instead of just going from the start to finish with just your polearm, you can say, well, I'm learning how to be more aware on the battlefield like this, which is going to help me once I specialize polearm. So you're still getting experience towards the combat area, but you're not going specifically into polearm yet.
Well, I think what I would do in that case, so like you're being very specific here, okay? You went from generalization to very, very specific. In this very specific situation, I would probably have you guys have a certain number of combat experience in that pool,
Right.
and then expect you to go for, well, it'd be like technically you should be there a week, but be there for like a day, maybe 2 for polar arm Pacific training, and then you get the feat that way. But you would lose all the combat experience once you gain that feat, and then you'd have to start over again.
Yeah, it all, like, you basically just cash it all in.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. But if it was somebody that was leaning towards polearm, right? But once they got enough XP in their combat, we'll just say tree or category, and they're like, you know what, maybe I don't want polearm mastery. Maybe I want something else. You already put the combat experience in, so you'd be able to afford something else. But then you'd use it all up, and if you want to go for polearm, you have to start over.
Oh.
So that's the only difference is like, because some feats just seem easier to get than others, in my mind.
Well, yeah, so like if you do combat in general, you're pulling into combat, and then you say you're going after toughness, basically. You get all your combat, okay, great, you got it then, basically, because you've been in combat for so long.
Yeah.
You can just pool into your you could just basically say, okay, I have enough experience in combat to purchase a feat, and the feat I want is toughness, so I've lost that experience but gained toughness.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to go chasing a person who's experienced in toughness to do toughness.
Yeah.
Something like that. But if it's a specific thing like the polar arm, then yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Because if you're just doing combat in general, it wouldn't make too much sense.
Yeah, that's
But
why...
it's only a day or 2 of your time and maybe 10, 15 gold pieces.
Yeah, it's like
because you got to pay them.
You focus now. Like, okay, you learned this general combat strategies, and you could say the same thing with like reading books for spells. You read a ton of books, and then at the end you're like, I really like this line of, books or whatever, and then you focus on that specific talent tree. If it's a, let's just say, more expensive talent tree.
Yeah.
So that's what I was thinking of.
What are your guys' thoughts on this? I know you guys are kind of quiet about it, but and Sora and I are just talking about it. But what are your guys' thoughts on this?
Yeah, like I said last time, like maybe nobody even cares, and nobody cares about feats.
Yeah, maybe nobody cares, but what are your guys' thoughts? We need to hear from you guys as well. Oh, and hey there, Rhetoric and Irishman. Thank you for that, host Irishman. You don't use feats?
I think it's a good idea.
Elaborate. Do you like the setup that you have, or do you like Sorei's a little bit more? Or what's more fluid to you?
I like Sorei, because I feel, like you said, it's fluid. Like, I mean, you're naturally doing stuff and learning stuff, and then you can learn something from it, right? So
yeah,
instead of like working towards something specific, you're just working towards it in general, and then yeah, I just feel like that is more light.
So if I set up a set XP amount for combat, magic, and miscellaneous, basically.
Yeah.
To give you 1 point to a general feat, or 1 point, and then you have to go find a master for a specific one. you guys would rather have that than just a general XP of trying to RP it via the I'm trying for toughness or magic initiative or something like that.
I think it's more natural to do it that way. But
Yeah.
like toughness is one like that I would say, I mean, I don't know how you would do it all, but like toughness would be one that you like don't need to find somebody to train you in.
Right.
But more involved ones I would think you would, right? Like somebody
to teach you to use the polar arm mastery.
Right, like
master
somebody would have to be able to teach you that. Like you don't just learn that.
Yeah,
You
like
know,
I'm not trying
you
to
can
make
learn
it.
the basics.
Yeah, I'm not trying to make it more difficult for players to get feats.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get it more like
Natural.
logical in a role-playing
Yeah.
sense. So the work you do is still going to be the, you know, quote unquote the same, but to me it just feels more role-playing where, like Bindle's in combat mode, he never really used a shield until he picked one up, but he's getting better at it. So if he wants to, he could try to master using a shield. But
Yeah.
he could also try to master parrying with the weapon as if it was a shield. Or he could master swapping between weapons, like dual wielding, where you could, you know, that's basically what you do, you swap weapons. Like, all these things make sense in a role-playing sense, and that seems fun to role-play that aspect. But I didn't really think it was fun to be locked into one of them from the start.
Yeah, and I agree with that statement. All right, so what we're going to do before we even start, because it's almost 10 minutes till.
Oh, it is.
Before we get started in anything else like that, go to your guys' character sheets, every single one of you.
Okay.
And I'll get on Oz's. Oz, I'm borrowing your character sheet.
Son of a...
Alright, so I'll switch scenes here so you guys can see. I'm on Oz's character sheet. Beautiful character sheet. He's like, he has 2 secret loot items that we didn't even go over. Seriously?
Did just secret loot items now?
Yeah, he has 2 secret loot items. 1, 2, right at the bottom.
Whoa, where did those come from?
I have no idea. Apparently you had them. But anyways, we're gonna go to bios here. Your bio.
One of them is super special.
Why? What? Because one of them's not like spelled correctly.
One's secret, one's screeked. I have a screeked loot item.
Oh god. My spelling, people, my spelling. So under under additional feats and traits, I don't care how you guys do this, but have feats, and then you can either choose combat to train or magic to train. I'm not going to, so you can have combat and magic here. But for now, you're just gonna add in the, excuse me, add in the XP as you use it or gain it, and whatnot. So, I'm gonna create a handout real quick.
Secret loot items for me and Alex, as well as group event.
Okay. Okay. I'll take care of that, Hickman, here in a few minutes. So here we're gonna do, I'm gonna type in feats for that, and it's gonna be everybody's journal. I don't have a picture. Whoever has a picture of these things? Alright, so combat, magic. I will not say this is for miscellaneous stuff, because that's a whole different section. But for now, you guys can choose between combat magic and miscellaneous, and treat miscellaneous as a combat magic setup. But to wait, if in combat, if spent time sparring, and this is sparring with like Rare Bean and Soul Ray has been doing, and or if just working out. Let's just say working out.
Yeah. I mean,
If
some
you-
things could be solo, like if you want to do like crossbow mastery or something, you just shoot a tree or something.
So all of these, if you do any of these, you are welcome to roll a 1d20. And whatever that is, that's your XP for it.
But we do one of those, right?
Well, if you're
one
in
of those?
combat, you're in combat. If you're, if you decide to stop early and spend time sparring, you get another 1d20 for that.
Oh,
If
so
you-
they stack like that.
Yeah, I'm gonna let them stack.
Okay.
But this is like sparring for a whole hour. Working out for 1 hour. In combat, you're in a fight. There's whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So if you've done one of these things, you can give yourself some XP in combat or magic. You got to choose one or the other. And actually what I'm gonna do, since combat and magic are the same thing out of here, cuddling. I love cuddling. Thank you. I knew I was gonna see that, huh? But what you can do is just say combat magic/magic and do it that way, because they're all gonna have the same. And because they're basically the same way of getting it, you're only allowed one, it'll work that way. For now, because I don't have how much XP it's gonna cost you to get like one token thingy for it type idea, just for now, just add the XP there and call it good. Those who have Hickman's a good example, I think. Hold on, Hickman, I'm gonna steal your character sheet for a minute. Hickman's a good example. Hickman has 14 XP. So he's doing magic, and he's learning it from a book because he has an extra book. So we'll just do this because he already knows what he wants, kind of idea, but we'll do combat magic, but he's learning from a book, so magic from a book, which is kind of funny because he can then he has an extra way of learning by reading for an hour instead of sparring or something like that. So from book, and then we can just delete this for him, but we're gonna remove this XP here. Right now he has 14 XP to this. So that's what we're gonna do for now. What are these? Oh, it's his druidness. It's his druidness. His magic druidness. So I think, Wolfie, you're the only other person that has that. Set up,
Question.
I think. Yeah. Wolfie's the only other one. Yes, question away.
So like he's learning it from a book.
He can learn it from a book.
So yeah, so if he decided to spar instead, he could learn it that way too.
Yeah.
Or no, not magic.
It kind of makes sense. You got to practice what you're reading.
Yeah, I just
Yeah.
didn't know if we had to have a book too. For
No,
magic.
no.
Okay.
No, sparring works too.
No.
he just had a book that he took from a couple of sessions ago at the Noob Town. I forgot what it was called. I have the name over here somewhere. But in that first town you guys were in, he stole a book. And he and I decided that was where he was going to learn his feat that he had.
Okay.
And it's a great idea and whatnot.
Yeah.
So he just has an extra way of learning a magic or a combat type thing. An extra way is all it is. Miscellaneous, I haven't decided how we're going to do that. What I think I'm going to have you guys do is if you come up with something that doesn't fit into combat and magic via your opinion, then come to me, and we'll discuss what we can do for that. So you still have to go look through feats. Still go look through feats. Figure out what you guys really, really want. Since you're only allowed 2 still only, just keep that in mind. You're still only allowed 2, so come on, get in there. Seriously? Okay. You're still only allowed 2, so make sure to go through them. See what you basically want. If you wind up with something like actor, come to me because that's definitely miscellaneous. Come to me because that's clearly miscellaneous, so that way we can discuss it. Eventually, I will add the amount of XP required to get like your little token saying, "Oh, hey, I can purchase a feat." So yeah, I will add that. It won't be today because you guys won't be near it, but it will be soon. It might even be much less than what we were thinking for the price for the XP and whatnot. We'll see. I don't know how much less or whatnot, but it might be less because it'd be based on your travels as well, so it might be less. It probably will be less. Don't quote me on it, but it probably will be less. Any other comments, concerns, statements, suggestions, thoughts? Ideas? No?
Nope. I think we're all ready.
We're all ready? Except for Sorey, who's gone at the moment, but that's okay. Okay. So we're gonna take a 5-ish minute break and get a run to the litter box, and then we'll start D&D. Alright, guys? BRBs? I'll see you in a few.
Yep.